And good Wednesday evening, and welcome to WG Radio Podcast. That's Wholesale Guitars Podcast with Stevie B. Got a guest in the studio with me today, Mr. Terrence, and you're going to pronounce that last name right?
Badoui.
Badoui. That's French, by the way. And we're going to be talking about a lot of things today. We're going to be talking about the things that are happening in RVA, everything from the mayor to the firing of the police chief, and just statues and all kinds of things here in a little bit. But before we do that, I'm going to kick off with a little music for you. We're going to start it with a little Tony Jackson. How about It's Only Make Believe?
People see us everywhere. They think you really care. But myself I can't deceive. I know it's only make believe. My one and only prayer is that someday you'll care. My hopes, my dreams come true. My one and only you. No one will ever know how much I love you so. My dreams come true. My life I'd give for you. My heart a wedding ring. My all, my everything. My heart I can't control. You rule my very soul. My only prayer will be someday you'll care for me, but it's only make my one and only prayer is that someday you'll care. My hopes, my dreams come true. My one and only you. No one will ever know how much I love you so. My only prayer will be someday you'll care for me, but it's only
So there you go, Tony Jackson with Only Make Believe. Sorry to the people who are watching me live. We somehow or another we lost our feed live on Facebook here, but we're back up. So if you're listening to us, you can go back and see us live on the live feed as well. But anyway, I'm here with my good friend, Mr. Terrence Badoui, and we want to talk a little bit about what's going on in RVA today. And last night, the mayor relieved Chief Smith of his responsibilities as chief of police in Richmond, and we're also being told that there was approximately 40 riot officers that resigned their post as riot officers in the city of Richmond. So, interesting situation that we're in right now. So, Terrence and I have been talking, and some things we agree on and some things we disagree on, which is why I wanted to have him on the show today. And, you know, some of you have watched my live feeds on Facebook and kind of got an idea of where I stand on certain issues. And let me make that clear on the radio show as well. Number one, the Northern Virginia battle flag, which most of you know is the rebel flag. Let me give you my opinion of that. Now, I am a Southern heritage. I love my Southern heritage. I'm all behind my Southern heritage. And yes, that flag to me and to many of you represent our Southern heritage. However, it doesn't represent Southern heritage to everybody. And let me explain. Robert E. Lee himself, after the war had ended, was asked what they should do with the flag. And Robert E. Lee's quote was, "The flag should be folded up, placed away or in a museum, never to be flown again." Now, am I saying that none of you should have the flag hanging in your rooms or anything? No, that's your prerogative. But as far as from a state or a federal government, that flag shouldn't be flown. It is a defeated foe of the United States of America. And regardless of whether we agreed with what the war was about or not, because many of us were taught that, hey, you know what, the war was about states' rights, and the South wanted states' rights. They wanted more rights than what the federal government was allowing. And we may agree or disagree on that. But what I want you to understand is it doesn't matter, we lost. And because of that flag, to me, if you want to keep it in your room or you want to hang it in your car, that's your business. But it should never be on any federal or state properties. Robert E. Lee said that himself. So that's where I stand on that. And again, I don't want people to go, oh my God, man, Steve's a flag hater. Nope, not the case at all. I love the flag. I respect that flag. It's my Southern heritage. But again, I also know its place. You can't go to Germany and see SS flags flying all over Germany. Correct there, Terrence?
Yeah, I will say, Steve, and for those of you who are watching me live on my Facebook page here, I want to make it very clear. Steve and I are good friends. We're both small business owners. I frequent his store a lot. And like he mentioned earlier, we have different opinions, and we agree on some things and we disagree. I mean, some of people don't know that my thoughts and views are conservative. However, when it comes to Steve talked about his Southern heritage. I'm also a black man. Well, here in America, we say, African American. When personally, I don't even like the term African American, only because I wasn't born here. I was born in a little island in the Caribbean called Dominica, and I grew up in Boston. I've been here almost 50 years now. However, I do understand that I have a Dominica flag, but I don't fly it around like it's like during when there's Dominican issues or Caribbean issues, everybody has their flag, and that's certainly fine. But it's not on any state property, and it's not on any federal property. And I think the issue with a lot of people, for example, for me personally, the Confederate flag or the rebel flag, whatever they call it, it doesn't offend me personally, and I'm a black man. However, I do understand that it offends a lot of people. I don't believe that the Civil War was fought against states' rights. Steve believes that, and that's certainly fine. I believe it had to do with slavery. That's what I believe. And as a black man, it offends some people. And if it offends people, and not some people, let me rephrase that, it offends a lot of African Americans in this country. It reminds them of slavery, Jim Crow, a whole bunch of different things. So one of the most important things here, we apologize for this phone ringing here, we do apologize. But one of the most important things is simply this. You have to remember, folks, that one of the issues with the flag is that why are you flying it like you won the war? The war was over a long time ago, and the Union won, and it's the United States of America. If you want to have a flag, like Steve says, and you have a flag in your room, that's certainly fine. But do you think there are people who have swastikas in their homes? They probably do. But you can't go around flashing it and putting it on property, because that's and if you go to Germany today, it's not being flown. So that's something people have to understand. So I want to make it very clear. I can respect Steve's point of view, and he does respect mine. But I believe that a lot of people need to understand that personally, for me, it doesn't offend me. But because I know it offends a lot of people and people who look like me, I say, you lost, let it go.
And that's where I'm at. Again, I love the flag. It was my heritage. But, we had this great general, Robert E. Lee, that so many people want to respect the statue that's there, and also respect his word. And his word was that flag should be placed in a museum, never to be flown again. So that's where I feel on the flag issue. Now I want to talk to you about statues for a minute. How do I feel about the statues? Well, like many of you, those statues have been here since the 1890s. I feel like those statues have been here as a part of our history and a continued part of Richmond's history. And look, it upsets me to see them being defaced. So rather than seeing these statues defaced and torn down, I would a whole lot rather them see them being taken down and put somewhere else in a museum type setting to where they can be appreciated by those that want to see them. So again, I'm not saying that I want them taken down and torn down. Please don't take that the wrong way. What I'm saying is if they're going to be torn apart, defaced, I would rather them be taken down and placed somewhere in a safe place. Now, also that being said, yes, it is history. But so was Nazi Germany and so was Adolf Hitler. And again, you don't go to Germany and see statues of Hitler. I'm not comparing Hitler to Lee. I think Lee was a much more compassionate man than Hitler ever was. However, in the eyes of certain people, in the eyes of African Americans here in this country, I can see how they can refer to it as that way. So again, I'm not saying I want those statues taken down. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if they are going to be taken down, I want them to be well taken care of and placed somewhere where they're not going to be destroyed and they can still be seen. Now, I used to have a friend that used to visit me from up Delaware, and he used to come down, and he'd always take his wife down Monument Avenue, and we would laugh because I would always say, yeah, we're pretty proud of our second place trophies down here. And that's kind of what they were. But, and again, you don't want them destroyed, and I get that, and I'll stand with you on that you don't want them destroyed. But let's move them. If rather than have people constantly painting on them and destroy them and trying to yank them down, I'd rather move them to a safe place to where that's not going to happen. So some people feel totally different about that. Terrence, what do you think about the statues?
Well, as you know, Steve, the Civil War was fought here in the South, and I believe that it's part of history. And again, I'll make it very clear. I wasn't born here, but I've lived there almost 50 years, and I understand the pain of what happened and how there were fighters in the Civil War that were African Americans on the Union side and
correct
the Confederate side. So I believe that even with Hitler, we talk about Hitler a lot. Even with Hitler, you can go to a museum or you can go to places and learn about what happened. I don't condone anything that he did, and I don't condone any type of slavery or any type of oppression on any kinds of people. But this is what I believe that should have been done. They should have passed a resolution to remove them and take them down. But what has been happening is, I even believe that someone told me that I think here in Richmond, Virginia, there's an Arthur Ashe statue.
On Monument Avenue.
And a monument somewhere, and someone spray painted or defaced it or whatever. And a lot of people, I guess the cops are looking for the person or something like that. Now, what's the difference between both? Well, someone will say, well, Arthur Ashe didn't do anything to oppress white people. True. But the point is simply this. Some people, and remember again, folks, I'm a black man here in America, so I'm not here to make it sound like I am trying to pander and straddle the fence. My position is clear and solid. What I'm saying here is simply this. They could have certainly taken down the monuments, put it, I don't care if they put it in a museum or wherever they put it, and then the people who want to go see it. I'll be honest, I moved to Virginia back in 2005. I've driven. I went to Monument Avenue to see clients before. I have never stopped and watched the monuments. I don't care. I really don't care. I've never watched them. I've been to, I think, Hollywood Cemetery, and you've seen places where Jefferson Davis and different people have been buried. I went there with someone one time. But the important thing here, folks, I think what's happening too many times, we are making